Hey guys, thanks for coming back to check out another video. So, I'm so mad at myself. I filmed this whole video, picked out my new palette, like randomized my new palette, and then realized my microphone was not turned on for any of it. So, we are going to first be talking about, this is the project level up. I'm sorry, I'm just a little like peeved at myself, and my camera batteries are like weird and not charging, and it's a mess behind the scenes right now. This is my first update to the project level up. Contrary to how it might seem, I really enjoy this project pan. So this was created by Sofie, Alexandra. I will of course have her link down below and in the cards above. There are also quite a few people that I have found participating in this as well. So I will try to leave them linked in my description box as well, so that you can just have a bunch of content to binge. So how this works, you randomize a palette. Some people are picking their palettes, which I think is quite fine, but you randomize a palette. So your level 1 palette, you have to work on, you have to use every shade at least one time, if not more, and hit pan on one shade. So then level 2, you use every shade at least 2 times, if not more, and then you hit pan on 2 shades. I rolled in my level 1 palette and my level 2 palette at the introduction. So my level 1 was my Natasha Denona Midi Retro palette, and my level 2 was my Juvia's Place The Warrior palette. I greatly enjoyed working with these. I did get a lot more use out of the retro palette. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I did get some use out of this. I did not meet any goals with my Juvia's Place palette, but this is my level 2, so we're gonna obviously talk about this one first. However, one quick thing I wanna say is that in my intro video, I forgot to mention this, I think. Since I rolled in both palettes at the same time, which I like doing that, I think that gives me more variety. However, let's just pretend I had met my goals on my level 2 palette, but not my level 1 palette. I would not roll in my level 3 palette as we sit here today, because I'm not going to work on like levels 1 and 3 and skip 1. Like I have to finish 1 and then I can work on 2 and 3, and then I have to finish 2 and then I could work on 3 and 4. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. That is enough rambling though. Let's go ahead and get on into this. So, like I said, this was my level 1 palette, the Natasha Denona Midi Retro. So my goal was to use every shade in here at least one time. I will leave a full like breakdown of how many times I used each shade in the description box for you guys. But I did meet my goal. There were some shades where I used them 4 to 5 times if I'm not mistaken. Got a lot more good dips within this palette, and let me just go ahead and show it to you. Here it is. So I think you can tell some of the shadows do have better dips in them. And then hopefully your eye is directed to that Rebellion shade in the bottom row. There's a pan. Now, I do have to admit that shade already had a huge dip in it when I rolled it into this project. 2, it's a cream to powder shade, so it's a little bit more malleable, easier to go. And in my intro video, I was a little bit hesitant like to work on that, but you guys were so encouraging. You were like, no, work on whatever shade you want. Even Sofie said that. So if the creator of the project is like, Haley, work on whatever shade you want, then I feel like I can. And then Leah also brought up a really good point of like, these cream to powder shadows, since they are creams, they're gonna go bad a little bit more quickly than like the standard powdered ones. So I'm super excited that I got as much use out of this palette as I did. I have greatly enjoyed this palette. I know quite a few of you have asked me like, do I think this palette is worth it? That's always like a tricky question in my opinion. I feel like if you are comfortable with a $65 price point, you can't go wrong with this palette. I think her formula is quite lovely. I absolutely love the cream to powder formula, and it's just a lot of fun to play with. Is this a revolutionary color story? No, you probably have this time and time again in your collection. But if you were looking to try out the brand, you weren't sure where to start, I feel like this is one of the most like approachable midi-sized palettes that she has, and I don't think you would be disappointed with it. Hopefully that helps. I do have to quickly say, a video idea that I have, let me know if you're interested in this. Since this seems to be a palette that is on everyone's wish list, I have some other palettes in my collection where I feel like you can do very good dupe looks with those palettes, like something super similar to what you could get in here. Let me know if you would be into that, like a 3 looks but with 3 different palettes duping the retro. Let me know. Either way, that's not the point of this video. So yeah, I can roll this palette out. I'm super excited about that. Hopefully what you've been seeing over here, like that's why I've been like kind of scooted over, is some eyeshadow looks that I've done with the palette. So I did leave like the shade names and everything like that on the pictures. Some of the pictures I had to take like in my bathroom lighting, so they didn't turn out the greatest, but That Rebellion shade has been the absolute star of the show, in my opinion. I absolutely love that shadow. You just can't go wrong with it. Like, it pairs so nicely with everything in the palette, and it's just, it was my favorite shade. Like, I'm really happy that that was the shade that I hit pan on. So the looks where I have Rebellion on are like my most favorite looks. So speaking of eyeshadow looks, I did not take any pictures when using the Juvia's Place Warrior palette, simply because I did not create a full-on look using this palette. This was very much a companion palette for me, and now I'm realizing I never paired this with the retro palette. That makes me sad. I will probably do that again. Like, keep the retro palette out and try to pair it with this, because I was super excited about that in the intro video. But anyway, I didn't take any pictures because, to me, I want to see pictures when it's like, you've used this palette solely. But if you guys don't care, like if you just want to see whatever pictures, then let me know. I'll take pictures when I just use this, but I was going to try to create full-on looks with this. So I did not get as much use out of this palette as I did the retro, or as I did eyeshadows in my other project pans. Again, a full breakdown will be in the description box, but you can see nothing with pan in it yet. And there are some shadows within this palette that have went unused this month. So I did decide, with your guys' encouragement, you said that it wouldn't matter if I hit pan in the matte cream shade, that would be completely appropriate. So that is one shade that I'm going to hit pan in. And then I'm still deciding on what shimmer shade. I know in the intro video we talked about the Bakwa shade maybe being the one. It's a really pretty gold shadow, but I have to be in the mood for that kind of gold shadow. Does that make sense? So I might pick maybe this center one, because it's a pretty lid shade, but it could also work as a really nice like inner corner highlighting shade. I don't know. I haven't yet decided. It doesn't really matter, because for now this palette is staying in the rotation. And so, like I said, I had already like recorded this whole video. Like, I had even randomized my wheel. Maybe I can include like a clip of that as I'm talking to you guys, like at least the wheel randomizing, even though you can't hear me. So I do still have it pulled up on my phone. As you can see there, it does say the ABH Jackie Aina palette is the one that I randomized for level 3. And I was so excited. Like, I don't want to refilm this video because like I said, I love this palette. Like, I'm excited to get to pull this out. This already has a lot of pan in it. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It already has 6 pans in it. So I do intend to hit 3 more pans. I'm super excited. So just in case you're unfamiliar, the Supreme, Credit, Lithuanian, Shookington, Trust Issues, and Sponsored all have pan in them. So, oh, and Zam. Ooh, I forgot about that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 7 pans in this palette, and we're going to add 3 more. That's why I'm so excited, because I always tell you guys this is a favorite palette of mine, and it's the palette that I have with the most pans in it. Now I get to add 3 more pans into it, and I get to play around with it. I think this is a great all year round palette. I'm just excited, so I think you can tell. But I'm not sure what shadows. Well, I do know I really love Pinker right here. And then I also really like Edges and Ginger, the brownie shades down here in the bottom. And I like this Soleil shade as an inner corner highlight. But if I'm going to try that with the Juvia's Place palette, that probably wouldn't be advantageous. So it might be all mattes in here that we try to hit pan on. Pinker, Edges, and Ginger. But we'll just continue to play around with it and see. Maybe I'll surprise us all and I will hit pan in Soleil. I'll hit pan in like Soleil and Wigglies, like the inner corner shade and the red shade. But yeah, I am super excited. I hope you guys are okay with the fact that like the video kind of like got corrupted a little bit. So, and sorry again if it seemed a little rushed. I don't know what it is with my camera batteries, but they're not holding a charge right now. So I have to kind of like speed through it. So that is it though. I'm super excited. So we will be working on the Warrior palette for level 2 and the ABH Jackie Aina palette for level 3. Hopefully next month, maybe we could roll both of these palettes out. That would be really fun. I am trying to balance quite a bit of eyeshadow panning in my life right now. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I am super excited. I hope you guys are excited. If you have joined into this project pan and I did not include you in my description box, please let me know. Thank you guys so much. I hope you're having a good day, a good night, or a good whatever. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.